Okay, here's the second part of solving systems. For this problem, we have that Laura has $720 and save $30 a week. Taylor has $1,200 and spends $30 a week. In how many weeks will Taylor and Laura have the same amount of money? And in this problem, you have to think different. You have to think about the rate of change and the y-intercept, the value for b, which is your starting point. So here we have that Laura is starting at $720 and she saves $30 each week. So her starting point is going to be $720 and her rate of change is going to be 30, and it's going to be positive because she's saving. Now Taylor has $1,200 and he spends $30. So his starting point is $1,200 and his rate of change is $30, and it's going to be negative because he is spending the money. Now let's just give name to the variables. Let x be the amount of weeks, and let's say that y is the saving money. Now let's create my system. Let's create the equation for Laura first. Like I said, the rate of change is going to be 30 and the b, the y-intercept, is going to be 720. So just remind that y equals mx plus b is the formula for a slope y-intercept where m is the slope, b is the y-intercept, or the starting point, the beginning point. So here I will have the y equal 30, which is the rate of change for Laura, x plus her starting, which is 720. Then let me create one for Taylor. So for Taylor is y equals negative 30 because he's spending the money, not saving. He's spending the money, so he will have minus $30 every week in his account, plus his starting point, which is 1,200. Now I just have to solve this system, and to solve this system, since both are y equals, the best method is use the calculator. Just plug that on the calculator and find the intersection point between those two lines. But since I don't have a calculator, I will just do it by substitution. That's another way to do it. Okay, let me show you how to do it by substitution. So if I do it by substitution, I just have to take one of them and plug for the other one to find my value for x. So if I take all of this, which is the same thing as y, and plug it here for y, I will be able to find the value for x. And let me just do it here because I will have more space. So if I do it here, it will be like negative 30x plus 1,200 equals 30x plus 750. And then I just have to solve for x. My first step in solving for x is distribute, but since I don't have any parentheses, I don't have anything to distribute. So then I have to combine like terms. I don't have any like terms on the left side. I don't have any like terms on the right side. So let me go to the next one, which is move the variable. And I have to move the variable, so I can have the x's in only one side and I can solve for x. So let me say that I will move this over to the other side. So let me just add, this is minus, so I should add 30x to both sides. So those two will simplify, and I have 1200 equals 60x plus 750. Now I have to add or subtract, so this is positive, so I will do minus 750 on both sides. I'm sorry, this is 720, it's not 750. 720. So let me do 7. This is 720. So it's minus 720 on both sides. So those two will simplify, and 1200 minus 720 is 480. So 480 is going to be equal to 60x. Now my last step is multiply or divide, and I will multiply or divide the number that is next to x. So if they're next to each other, 60 is multiplying x, so I will do the opposite, which is divide by 60 on both sides. So those two simplify, and 480 divided by 60 is 8. So x is equal to 8. Now that I have the value for x, I just have to plug it into any of my two original equations and solve for y. So let's say that I will plug it in on the one on the top. So y equal 30 times the value for x, which is 8, plus 720. So y equals 240 plus 720, then y equals 960. Now I have my solution as x equals 8 and y equals 960. And if you have to explain it, you can say that in 8 weeks both will have $960. The last thing we're doing is this take-home quiz. If you have time to do it in class and you want to do it with your group, that's fine. This is going to be due on Tuesday when you see me again, together with your homeworks. And I just want you to find the right method to solve each system. So now let me give you a clue on some of them. So like in number 1, remember, if both equations are in a standard form, always the best method to use is elimination. So for number 1, we should use elimination. And to use elimination, I want to find two numbers, one positive, one negative, and they are the same numbers to get my variables eliminated. So let's say that if I multiply the top equation by -2, I will have my equations eliminated. Now on number 2, I have y equals 8 minus x, and the other one is in the standard form. So every time that I have y equals and the other one is in the standard form, the best method that I can use is substitution. So I will get everything inside of the parentheses and I will plug it here for y, and I will solve for x. And then once you find the value for x, go back, plug it in, and find the value for y. So this one right here is going to be substitution. Now on number 3, I have both in y equals form, so the best method is going to be the calculator. Then I have both in standard form, so when both are in standard form, that's elimination, and the number that I should multiply by is -2. So I have to multiply the first equation by -2, so I can have -2x added to 2x, and my x's can get simplified. You solve for y, and then once you find the value for y, go back, plug it in, and solve for x. This one, I have both in a standard form, so that's elimination. One more time, and you should multiply by +5, the one in the top, so you can get your x's eliminated. Here I have y equals and a standard form, so that's substitution. So here you should get everything inside of the parentheses, so 2x plus 11, and plug it in here for y. And then once you solve for x, go back, plug it in, and solve for y. Here I have x equals and a standard form, so one more time, that's substitution. So you should get everything that is inside of the parentheses and plug it in here for x. Here I have both in a standard form, so that's elimination. So you should multiply the top one by -8. So this -y will become +8y, and you will simplify those. And remember, you have to multiply every single term inside of the parentheses by this -8. Here I have y equals and standard form, so let me know that's substitution, and you will get all of this, so 2x minus 3, and you will plug it in here for y. And the last one, you have both in a standard form, so you will use elimination one more time. So you should multiply the one in the bottom by 3, so you can get +3x, and eliminate that with that -3x when you add them up. Then you solve for y. Once you have the value for y, go back, plug it in, and solve for x. So if you need an extra paper to solve and show work, use an extra paper. I want to see your work shown, and not just the answer. If you give me just the answer, it's going to be a 50. Okay, you need to show work to have 100 on this assignment. So I hope this video helps. I hope you have a great weekend, and bye.